today I have brought to you a psychological thriller movie that was released in 2009. The name of the movie is Afterlife. So at the beginning of the story, we see Eliot, who was the owner of a funeral house. He worked for the funeral of dead people. We saw that he received a dead old man. He was taking that man and preparing him for the funeral. Anna came to the funeral of this man. The old dead man was Anna's piano teacher. That's why Anna was crying a lot at his funeral. Eliot saw that Anna was so depressed and insecure, who could never love her life. She was a middle school teacher. Anna had a lover in her life whose name was Paul. He was a lawyer. Even though their relationship could be better, but because of the insecurities of Anna, they were far apart. After the funeral, Paul got to know that he received a promotion and he will have to shift to Chicago. That's why he took Anna to a fancy restaurant, thinking that he will propose to her, so that both of them could stay in Chicago together. Then he told her about his promotion and transfer. He told her everything. He was about to propose to her, and Anna got worried and thought that Paul was breaking up with her and running away to Chicago. And thinking that, she got upset and depressed. Then she had a fight with him and left the restaurant crying. Paul tried to stop her so many times, but she didn't stop. She left by her car. Paul was calling her again and again, and it was so heavy. Then a big van was honking behind Anna's car, and she got distracted, and for this, an accident happened. The scene ends here. In the next scene, we see Eliot in the funeral house, where he was preparing Anna's dead body for her funeral. But suddenly her eyes opened, and she got scared and asked Eliot, "Where is she?" Then Eliot told her that 8 hours ago you died in an accident, and I'm preparing you for your funeral. After hearing this, she got so scared and started screaming loudly, but she couldn't get her body up as if she was paralyzed. Then Eliot showed her her death certificate. The next day, Paul noticed that Anna didn't come home yet. Then he asked everyone around their house, including school friends and all. At last he went to Anna's mom, where he got the news of her death. After hearing this, he became so upset he started crying. He blamed himself for Anna's death. Anna's mom also told him that she died because of you. On the other side, we saw Eliot, and he was stitching Anna's head injury. Then someone came outside, and that's why Eliot gives her an injection and said, "With the help of this injection, your muscles will be relaxed, and this will take time." Anna went unconscious gradually. Eliot came out and saw that Anna's mom was there. So friends, the question is, if Anna is dead, then how is Eliot able to talk to her? Actually, Eliot was gifted with a supernatural power. He could talk to the dead and could see them and hear them. Anna's mom was standing outside and she was so sad. She wanted to see Anna's dead body. Then Eliot brought the body out, and watching her daughter's dead body, Anna's mom was so sad, and after some time she left. And then Anna woke up. Her pulse was not running. She got so scared and started to scream so loudly. She kept knocking on the door and asking for help. At that time, Eliot was upstairs in his office. And then Paul came in to see Anna's dead body. Since Paul was not blood related to Anna, so he was not able to see her dead body. And then Anna was in the basement. After she heard Paul's voice, she started to scream so loudly, but Paul couldn't hear her. After some time, Eliot came down to Anna. Anna asked, "Did Paul come to see me? Can I see him for one last time, please?" Then Eliot got a little angry and told her that, "Anna, now you're dead, and you have to forget about them. If you keep them remembered, then you'll hurt them and yourself too, and this will make it hard for you to be free." Anna got so upset after hearing this, and Paul got so angry that he didn't let him see Anna for the last time. That's why he came straight to the police station to his friend Tom, and he asked Tom for help, that he wants to see Anna for one last time. "I want to say goodbye to her." But Tom couldn't help him. On the other side, Anna still can't accept the fact that she's dead. She was thinking that she can still breathe and talk to Eliot. Maybe there was some mistake from the doctors. Then Eliot told her that you're thinking that you're alive, but no, this is not true. I can talk to you, and this is not a miracle. Actually, I was gifted with this power, and I can talk to dead people and hear them too, so that I can help them in their last transition. Anna became so sad after hearing this. She had a beautiful life and a good boyfriend, but she took all of it for granted. She became frustrated and fell asleep. After some time, she woke up by a noise. There was an old lady in front of her. It was the lady whose dead body she saw a little earlier. Anna got so scared after seeing her. That old lady came closer to her and told her that you're not ready. To save herself from the lady, she opened a door and went inside. That room was more horrible. That room was totally dark. Anna slowly went inside, and suddenly, someone grabs her hand and takes her inside the dark room. She hears some voices, that you're dead, and you don't deserve this life. Then suddenly, a little girl came there, and it's Kid Anna. The kid started to say something, and then Anna woke up from this nightmare. It was all her hallucination. Since she was frustrated, she started to break everything around her. Eliot gives her a dress, which her mom sent for her to wear in her funeral. And then, Eliot puts his coat in the corner. And then, when she got the chance, she took the key. After some time, Eliot went outside with his coat. Then Anna tried to open the door, but it took her so long. On the other side, Eliot stopped in a petrol pump and realized that Anna took the key. So he came back so fast. After a long time, when Anna opened the door, Eliot was there, and then Anna hid somewhere. Then Anna went to every room to find the gate to go outside. And then she went to a room and found a phone. Then she called Paul. Paul received the call, but there was too much disturbance in the call. Paul thought that someone was pranking with Anna's name. He got angry and hung up the call. In the meantime, Eliot got there and was so angry at her, and told her that all you think is that you're still alive. You don't want to believe that now you're a dead body. If you don't believe it, then go see yourself in the mirror. When Anna saw herself in the mirror, she got scared, because she looked like a dead body. But something strange happened here. When she was exhaling, the reflection was on the mirror, and that part of the mirror got blurred. But before Anna could see this, Eliot wiped it. Jack was watching all of this from the ground. The next day, Paul went to Anna's school to collect her stuff. Then Jack saw him there and told him that he saw Anna in a red dress with Eliot. Paul was in so much stress and said, "No, it's not true." But little Jack said to him that you don't even care about my teacher. I'm telling you that I saw Ma'am Anna there, and you're telling me that she's dead. I'm happy that she left you. Paul got so angry after hearing all of this, and left the school after hitting Jack. And then another body came to the funeral house, and it was the dead body of the brother of a police officer. The police officer came to see his brother's dead body, and then he saw that Anna's dead body moved a little bit. That's why the police told Eliot he wants to stay alone for some time. Then the officer went to Anna and checked her pulse and saw that it was not running. Then he thought that maybe he saw something wrong. Maybe it was his hallucination. And then Jack came there and started talking to Eliot. And then Eliot asked him that, "Yesterday you saw Anna in a red dress, right?" Then Jack answered, "Yes." Then Eliot said, "Don't be scared. It's a gift. You can see, hear, and talk to dead people like me. It's normal. I'll tell you about the whole process." He gave an example of a flower. That's why he told him to throw away those dried flowers. All this affected Jack so much. Jack went home. He had a little chicken. The chicken was sick for so long. Jack killed the chicken after hearing all that from Eliot, thinking that the chicken can never get well now. So it's better to kill him. That's why he killed the chicken. While Paul was returning home, he noticed a red dress. Then he remembered that Anna also wore a red dress. Then he went to Eliot's house and started calling Anna loudly. Eliot tried to stop him, but Paul went to the basement and kept calling Anna. Anna woke up after hearing his voice, but she knew that she was dead. Paul could not hear her voice, so she didn't reply. She didn't even try, because once Eliot told her that her mom and Paul didn't love her, they moved on with their life. Then Paul went to the police again and asked Tom for help, but it was written there that the death certificate was given after observing her pulse. Paul got so surprised after reading that. Paul said she could be alive. There are some drugs nowadays that can make the pulse stop for some time. When they were fighting about this, Lewis came there, who saw Anna's dead body. He confirmed that he saw her heart was beating. Then Paul begged them to go there and check it again. He begged them to take her body to the doctor once more. The police could not help at all. On the other side, Anna told Eliot that she regretted so much in her life. Then Eliot asked her, "What did you want from your life?" Anna became frustrated and said, "I don't know what makes me happy. I've searched for happiness since I was a kid, but I never found it." Then Eliot got angry and said, "You know what makes you happy, and what is happiness? All you want in your life is misery. That's why you chose misery." Then Anna said, "No, I want happiness in my life. I've always searched for love, but my mom always said that love gives you pain and misery. That's why I was never able to think for myself." Eliot became frustrated and said that Paul loved and he still loves you. Then Anna said, "You'll not understand this complication. I've always feared this love. What if all the happiness comes to me and then suddenly it leaves? Then I will lose everything. Paul will go far away from me. That's why many times I tried to keep Paul away from me, so that he would leave me." Then Eliot asked her, "If God gives you another chance to be alive, what would you do then?" Eliot opened the door and let her choose her path. Anna became so happy and went to her home. But she saw something very unusual there. Everyone was standing around her, even her mom and Paul too, and they were making a grave for her. She became so sad thinking that everyone had moved on. She went to Paul and asked him. Then Paul said, "I don't care anymore. Then all of them saw Anna for the last time and put her in the grave. Not just this, there were insects running around all over Anna's body. She got so scared after seeing all of this and got out of the hallucination. Anna was still standing near the door, and she was scared to accept her life. That's why she didn't want to go outside, and she stayed inside. After watching this horrible scene, Anna said, "Thank God I'm dead." Eliot smiled and said that, "I thought you were different, but no. You think you're afraid of death, but in reality, all you are scared of is your own life. You don't want to live. You just want to go on with your fear." The next day was Anna's funeral. After that, Anna fully accepted that she was dead. Eliot prepared her and did her makeup. Then she saw herself in the mirror and exhaled relaxedly. But then again, the mirror got blurred after she exhaled there. This means her breath was warm. Anna was about to react after seeing this, but right then, Eliot gave her an injection. Then Anna's funeral started, and Jack, Paul, and Anna's mom were present there. Paul gave her a ring that he bought to propose to her, but then Anna moved a little bit. But Paul didn't notice it. He was so upset and crying a lot. And just like that, her funeral ended. Eliot went to his office. There were so many tiny pictures of many people. Then he puts Anna's photo there and said, "Look, Anna, your whole family and friends told you final goodbye." And then he puts her photo in a wall. This means these are all the people whose funeral was done by Eliot. After the funeral, Paul was drinking too much. Then Eliot went to him and tried to make him understand that Anna is no more. She's dead. So leave it and move on. But Paul could not accept it. Lastly, Eliot said that she is still alive. Go see her at the cemetery. And then Paul straight went to the cemetery in his car and took Anna out of her grave. He saved her, and then they hugged each other and said, "I love you." But then this beautiful hallucination of Paul ended, and he saw that he is in Eliot's funeral house. Eliot told him that before you reached the cemetery, you had an accident and you died. Then Paul told him that, "I'm totally alive." Then Eliot hit him with a rod, and poor Paul died there. And the cinema ends here. What happened? You didn't understand that what actually happened here, right? Okay, let's see that now. First we'll talk about Anna. This was Eliot's van, which means Anna got on that accident because of Eliot. After the accident, Eliot injected something called hydronium bromide in her body. As a result, her heartbeat slowed down and stopped for some time. The paramedics checked her pulse and said that she was dead. And then she was brought to Eliot's funeral house while she was still alive. Now the question is, why did Eliot do such things? In Eliot's opinion, people like Anna have no right to live because they're not grateful, not happy with their life. They're always sad and depressed. They don't ever get happy and spread negativity to the people around them. Then why wasn't he killing them directly from the accident? Because he gave them a second chance, made them feel dead. He brought their regret right in front of them and gave them another chance to live happily. Eliot wanted to see if they could understand the purpose, the value of life. He did the same with Anna, but fears her life, and at last she gives a statement that, "Thank God it's over and I'm dead." Here, if Paul got a little bit of help from the police, then he could have saved Anna. But why did Eliot kill Paul? Because after Anna died, Paul was also depressed all the time. In the day of the funeral, Eliot convinced him a lot, but Paul didn't listen to him. And then, exactly in the same way, Eliot did an accident of Paul, and then he was declared as dead and brought to his funeral house, and then Eliot killed him there. In the meantime, we saw Jack here. Jack was so much influenced by Eliot, and maybe in the end, Jack will take the place of Eliot. So friends, this was today's movie, Afterlife. Friends, love yourself and your life too. For today, this was it for today, and I will be back to you with a new video. Till then, stay safe, stay well.